We're sitting at Nurrungindji next to the playground Wawainura. It's a park that I've had some involvement in doing the artwork and the story. The story for this park is about the river monster, the Hawkesbury River monster that people talk about. We also have the Gurungach, which is the creator, which is a giant eel. Back in the Dreamtime stories, many years ago, the eels are actually in the story as having feet. The eels moved along the creeks in this area and formed the waterways and the landforms, so it just brings part of our creation story. We picked out a few different megafauna animals, the wombat, emu, and included their footprints along the pathways. I guess when you are looking at megafauna and things like that, a lot of it's looked at through archaeology. So the playground's got a giant sandpit, so you can actually dig the sand out and find artefacts in there. So it's just sort of mimicking what we do in archaeology to find megafauna. Because Dharug people were here when megafauna was here. And there's evidence of that in quite a lot of places. So I think it's quite interesting for people to understand how long our people have been here for. When I learned about Aboriginal history as a child, we were taught that we just wandered around aimlessly, but my parents taught me that there was so much more to our culture. Dharug lifestyle before colonisation, to me, was a very structured lifestyle. We had farming, we lived with country, we didn't adapt country for our needs. We only used what we needed. Prior to colonisation, I think, was quite a peaceful time for us. And for more than 60,000 years, we lived here through a lot of harsh climate changes and things like that, but we survived. And we actually thrived in this country due to knowing how to live with country and not adapt country to what we want. My family was around this area straight after colonisation. Not a very good time for our people in this area. When colonisation happened, all the families were split and moved to places that were apparently safe, but in our family it wasn't too safe for what happened with Nan. My grandmother was actually sold to not a very nice man from when she lived here as a child, and had an absolutely terrible life. The Cooee and Nurrungindji land grant was the first land grant given to Aboriginal people. Cooee and Nurrungindji were Dharug leaders, so they were doing a lot of freedom fighting for Dharug people back at that time. But then it was taken back eventually. There's still lots of Dharug people living in this place, but there's also a lot of other Aboriginal people from other areas that have moved in here and have been here for many generations now. I think the population of Aboriginal people in the Blacktown LGA is something that should be celebrated. I think we need to celebrate our connections. We also should really celebrate the connections that Dharug people have with other mobs out of Dharug country. My name's Leanne Redpath, formerly Watson. I'm a Dharug woman. I am a Burubiranggal woman and Warmuli, and I also have connections out west and down south, so I'm connected to many places and many mobs. Naya Giara, Leanne Redpath, Budgerina Junya Dharug Nurua, so it's great to see you on Dharug country.
There are 13 other Blacktown stories to hear, and you can see photos of everyone and read more about them on the website impactstudios.edu.au/weareblacktown. We Are Blacktown is a UTS Impact Studios production. It's produced by Britta Jorgensen, Jane Curtis, and Celine Teo-Blockey. Research by Jackie May. Sound design by Melissa May. Podcast artwork by Alexandra Morris. Theme music is Beaming by Friday. The executive producer is Olivia Rosenman. The executive producer of Impact Studios is Sarah Gilbert. Thank you to everyone in Blacktown we spoke to. We Are Blacktown is part of an audio project embracing place-based principles called Welcome to Blacktown. This project is supported by the Paul Ramsay Foundation. My name is Angelica Ujinaka Salakis, and I've lived in the Blacktown local government area for most of my life. If you want to hear more about Blacktown, you can listen to my story in Sink or Swim, a podcast about staying cool in Western Sydney and learning to swim as an adult. It's the story of one hot Australian summer that doesn't match the postcard perfect image, and it's a window into our climate-changing future. Find it wherever you get your podcasts.
The sun is beaming, I'm sticking to the leather. I must be dreaming.